Good afternoon. It is Sunday, November the 3rd, 2019. This is the Cryptocurrency Bull Market Watch. My name is Doug from intro-to-cryptos.ca. And as you can see, Bitcoin has made a large move today. It made a big move down. Everybody thought it was cracking lower and immediately bounced back up. The purpose of this live stream is to go through 7 different cryptocurrencies that trade on BitMEX and take a good inside look at what might be going on with them. Of course, this isn't actually trading advice. I recommend that you subscribe to the channel for our regular updates, but it's not actually trading advice, just market observation. Do your own research. Now, I'm glad to be part of your research and thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up button if you find this helpful. Just want to take a quick look at what's been going on with Bitcoin prices and then go through our indicators to see what this might mean for the cryptos. As we can see here, that the cryptos are starting to edge up. We got Ethereum breaking out of this potential bottom formation. Litecoin has been responding quickly. Ripple's got a little tick of green right there, but Bitcoin is also showing some green, and I want to see what's going on with Bitcoin dominance as a measurement to see how important this is. When we take a look at Bitcoin, here's Bitcoin price again. We're looking at the number of longs versus the number of shorts. And we can see that the longs were getting a little nervous as prices were coming down here and people were closing their longs, and now prices have reversed. So we'll zoom in and see what our indicators are saying for each of our trading coins. The purpose of this stream is to go over the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation as it appears and to document exactly what is going on with the indicators throughout those time frames. I'm going to stick to the 4-hour time frame throughout this show, and let's move on to the next coin. Here we can see Bitcoin Cash is building up a little bit on the RSI, and it may be breaking higher, but I don't like this divergence off of the double top and these 2 exhaustion wicks there. So if Bitcoin is going to be showing us strength, I imagine that Bitcoin Cash is going to be coming down from here. This is what I'm thinking and why I'm documenting this here today. So we see that EOS is responding to Bitcoin, showing a bit of weakness there. I want to zoom in to the close time frame on this, because even as Bitcoin did the reversal, this hasn't reversed. It's continuing on. This is really important to see. Let me go to the 4-hour time frame again so we keep the same view. Go to Ethereum. Look at this. The RSI is building, and we were talking the last couple episodes about this break, talking about a break above these levels, and here we have it. That is strength. And I don't know if Bitcoin shows strength up here, if these are going to get slammed down like I've been talking about the last few days. Now, Litecoin, it has been responding sooner than everything else. If I zoom in on Litecoin, we can see that earlier than the Bitcoin little break here, this has been showing some strength. We'll see what's going to happen as we zoom in on this and we get right down to the 1-minute view. Is it going to reverse if Bitcoin starts to show strength from here? I'm not sure, but I want to track it all, especially what's going on this indicator. This was great. We've been watching for this for days, and there it is. Great to be recording it as it's happening. Let's go to Tron. It may be, hey, it just turned as we're watching. This may be late. Everything else is already going. This hasn't gone yet, and it is sitting above some important support and resistance. It's already on the uptrend. It is a little tiny 1, 2, 3. This would be a trend continuation by formation if we're looking for that. Here I want to record what's going on in Ripple. It's breaking this line again, and that is phenomenal to get all of these moments. Let's go on to the on-balance volume, one of the indicators I like to look at regularly. Here we are looking at dumping and then less dumping at the edge here. If this turns to positive buying volume, that would be super. Just want to track it now to see what's going to unfold over the next few days. We had good buying, but no buying volume on the second high. Another reason that I'm kind of bearish on this, and that if Bitcoin shows strength, we'll see what happens with Bitcoin Cash. Let's go on to EOS and see dumping, less dumping. It's still kind of selling here and not really turned into buying, even though on the short-term time frame it's showing strength. We're not seeing it so much. Now, Ethereum's a different story. This has changed. This has changed since our last episode. We were looking at this kind of dumping going on, but to have it change to positive is phenomenal right at this spot. We'll track it again tomorrow to see what's going on, but we can see that Litecoin is showing the same kind of pattern and showing much more strength here. That's awesome. I want to go on now and take a quick look at Tron, because this was looking so great earlier. This was one of my favorites because of all of the volume going up in here. Then it turned into dumping volume, and it hasn't turned to buying volume yet. So let's see what goes on with that later. Let's go to Ripple and see what's going on. It's kind of the same as Ethereum and Litecoin, but not crossed to the positive yet. So we could have early warning here going on Ripple. Let's go into the next indicator set and run through it. What I'm watching for here is this to be crossing over to the positive. And what are we on? The 4-hour time frame. If I clear this off and double click, now we can see the 4-hour is just crossing to the positive. Let's go stay in this view. That's not as good on Bitcoin Cash. On EOS, even though it's showing strength on the short-term time frame, it's not picking it up here. Ethereum that's a nice cross in the 4-hour time frame. I wasn't expecting it actually, but there it is. Litecoin is already crossed to the positive here on the 4-hour. Tron, not yet. So this could be our early indicator. Look at this, has come back so beautifully here that if it crosses to the positive as we're breaking out, well, that's what we're watching for. Watching for it to cross to the positive, or is this going to hold itself in a negative stance? Let's go to Ripple and zoom in on this like we did the others. So this is matching more with Ethereum and Litecoin, and ADA right at the very beginning was showing the crossover to the positive. So there are 4 out of the 7 coins looking great on the 4-hour time frame for the MACD. Now we're looking at the 4-hour time for the Ichimoku cloud, and we're looking for the 4 main things. The trailing green indicator here to cut through everything. Looking for this to twist to the green, and it is. We're looking for price to go above the cloud, and it's harder to see, but we're looking for this blue line to cross above the red, and it's not quite there yet. So that would be a buy indication if it breaks above those levels, and of course it matches the buy for everything else too. Bitcoin Cash, it's above the cloud right now, and the blue line is above, so this is still showing upward momentum. Maybe even if it touches the cloud, it could still go up from there. Here we're not quite going into positive momentum yet. What are we looking at? EOS, and it's not quite crossed to the positive. We do have a green cloud, actually strange green cloud that's dipping down like that. Blue is not crossed above. The green isn't gone through yet, so I still, for the last few days, still wanting this to be crossing above those support levels. Now, Ethereum I'm surprised by this. I was expecting Ethereum to be better and up above the cloud. The blue line is still below the red. We still don't have a very good setup here for a buy signal in Ethereum, according to the Ichimoku cloud on the 4-hour time frame. But Litecoin is already starting to push up through. This twist to the positive is important. We'll watch to see how Ethereum unfolds as this comes along. This is already positive and in the cloud, so if it starts to break above on those shorter time frames and does everything we're looking for, it would be a buy signal in the uptrend for the Ichimoku cloud. To come against the cloud and to have everything cross over and break out of it is a buy signal in the trend. A very important one. Just like Ethereum, Ripple isn't getting through the cloud yet. So while I'm excited about some of the other charts, this puts a wet blanket on some of it. Let's go into ADA, which is breaking from the midline of the 4-hour Bollinger Bands that has come super narrow. That indicates a big move is coming. So I really want to see Bitcoin dominance again. We'll take a look in a second. Now, Bitcoin Cash is still up above the midline. It's bounced off the midline, is showing strength. And this is the 4-hour time frame. Just observing it. EOS came through, it wicked through, now it's coming up to the midline. If it shows strength and goes up above the midline, I want to pay attention to that and the timing of it with everything else. So EOS doesn't have the same narrow neck. When I go to Ethereum, it kind of reminds me of ADA in that it's come right down to a super narrow neck right now, which indicates there's potential for a very big move, and I want to see which direction. Well, this is giving us the inside view that it's probably going to be to the positive direction. This is looking great, breaking out, except that many times as we get to the top of the 4-hour, that is actually where to be selling. Though it looks great for a 1, 2, 3 breakout, If this is failing, this is the moment of the failure. And sometimes that 4 hour touching against the top is telling us that that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that looks so wonderful isn't as juicy as we might think. So let's see how that plays out. I love to have this example. Let's go to Tron, very narrow neck, 1, 2, 3 formation. We've already described many different reasons why this is a potential buy on the breakout above that. Looks great. Let's go to Ripple. Another very narrow neck, and it's down below the midline, so that's even a better position than Litecoin is, because Litecoin has moved up to the top of the band already. Let's go and take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Hasn't done anything. I don't know what to expect with this. And tomorrow morning when I get up, I can't wait to go through the complete bull market watch. You can get access to this spreadsheet over on intro-to-cryptos.ca for just $15 a month. We cover everything on Binance and everything on Poloniex. We not only tell you how many are in alert status, but we show you which ones are in alert status and which ones are in hold status as the markets change. And you can see here how we caught that early little bull market in September and how we already got out of most of it in October, at the end of October. Took out some profits, a little bit, some great setups here. And now we're watching for the next wave to be setting up. We can see the bullishness is picking up a little bit more over these last few days. And so if Bitcoin dominance starts to slide off from here, our altcoins are going to be going to the moon. On the other hand, if Bitcoin starts to take off and dominance starts to rise along with it, our alts are going to suffer. So we really are on the precipice right now, and Bitcoin is deciding what's going on. Let's go back to Bitcoin price, and I'm going to run through these indicators quickly with Bitcoin just to take a look and see what's going on with the relative strength index, making sort of a bowl shape. It did break this line, it did break that line. So it is really watching that this holds itself and continues to stay above these levels. Should it stay above those levels, we are setting up to go higher. I want to go to Bitcoin now, on to the next indicator. And we're looking at the volume. Not that great in this time frame. When we go out to the 12-hour time frame, we can see that it's pretty sustained buying overall. It hasn't dropped to selling, and it's a more powerful buying than we had through here. So for me, this is a really, really key reversal. For my own part, it is as important as this. It is as important as this breakout that we are changing. We are setting the tone for a change in direction. And so this downward trend that I was looking for before has been changed by the nature of the volume that went on in this reversal. I wasn't expecting a reversal that fast, and now that it's coming that fast, it changes my stance very much from bearish, expecting to hit down to 5,800. Now the nature of that buying right there has changed my ideas to very much higher right off of these levels and blasting through the support and resistance level like there's nothing even there. And of course, I absolutely could be wrong. And so I'm doing these videos to track it all and every different thing so I can analyze the analyst. Let's go on and see what Bitcoin is doing for the MACD. So in the MACD, I was really excited the other day because it had crossed to the positive in the 4-hour time frame as we were coming out of here, and I thought, moon, it is. But then, as you can see here, this 4-hour has crossed back to the negative and gotten kind of wide. I don't like it that much. So if I go to the 1-month time frame, I'm a little happier with this, the 1-hour time frame, because it's coming up to cross again. Let me go back. Let me clear this all off and get rid of these too. So here we are with a hammer reversal candle on a pretty good tongue of volume here, right at the moment that the 1-hour MACD is crossing to the positive. So though the alts are starting out right now, I am not really that excited. I think it's premature and they're going to get hammered. And I'm an alt aficionado. I really want the alts to go up. Let's zoom in a bit. The 15-minute time frame crossing to the positive. Can I zoom in on this? Crossing to the positive here. This is very good. If I go to the 5-minute time frame, also holding ourselves in sort of a positive stance here. But for me, it's this cross going to the positive is really awesome. Should this on the 4-hour time frame follow up and cross We are moving. We are going to be moving. The day has been holding itself steady, and the weekly has been actually moving these histograms back and back and back. If this next week that this histogram continues to shorten over the week, those are more bullish indicators. We've got a couple more indicators for Bitcoin, and I'll sign off from this stream. And Bitcoin 4-hour time frame is actually, it is still positive right here for that blue line, still above the red, though we do have a twist to the negative, and that green line is coming through to cut through everything. So it is pretty freaky, but I'm really keen to watch how this is playing out. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame. It is also still negative and hasn't flipped back to the positive on this reversal. And this indicator is important. I like to see that it has crossed to the negative. We've gone through the cloud. We've got the twist to the negative. This is cut through everything. Those are all sell signals in the Ichimoku cloud. Let's go to the closer time frame. And even in this 15-minute time frame, it's not poked through the cloud. It hasn't even twisted positive yet. I want to have this information. I'm glad I looked in. On the 5-minute time frame, we had a little twist to the positive. It's not looking that bullish, even though it's come back up here. So I want to go through this in 2 hours or what have you and review what's going on this. I want to know what's the deal with this Ichimoku cloud compared to what we're seeing in the other indicators. Last one, and we're going to wrap it up here, is the 4-hour Bollinger Bands. This has been a good friend all the way along here, buying up at this time, and now it's come down and given us this wick again. It could be a very good time to have bought at that time. Let's zoom in. Actually, I want to zoom out. So it is still on the 12-hour time frame, right on the midline. It crossed a bit below it, but it's just holding it there. The bands are narrowing, and I don't know, I'm observing. The 4-hour time frame, it's in the narrow band. It's come to the bottom. Nothing doing, but just watch it now. 1-hour time frame, even more narrow. It's at the bottom, coming up to cross the midline. On the 15-minute time frame, it skewered through and then has jumped up above the midline. So should this start to widen and break above these levels, I want to track it. I want to record everything again and see what's going on. Bitcoin dominance is still not doing anything, and we're looking at the 15-minute chart. I know this has a delay for this chart. It's always a little bit behind. So we'll have to come back and see what's going on there. And again, tomorrow morning, I'll go through all of this on the Bitcoin, the Bull Market Watch. You can subscribe to that by heading over to the website, learn more about how we put together the Bull Market Watch, and you can actually watch from day to day with our live data. You'll see the numbers, you'll see how many people are in alert or how many coins are in alert status and how many are in hold status. So this will give you the overall bullishness that as the markets are changing, you can come and review this every day and follow along with us. If you haven't already, I recommend you scroll right to the bottom and put your email address in to get the free webinar. It describes the complete trading system that I'm walking myself through here day by day as we're doing these journals. It'll describe all of the stages of the trade that we are attempting to put on, coming out of these bottom formations and looking for longer term position trades in these markets. So it'll walk you through the stages of the trade. The first stage of the trade is setting it up. The second stage of the trade happens when your order is triggered. The third stage of the trade happens afterwards. The fourth stage of the trade is when you're adding on to the trade. The fifth stage of the trade is when you are finally getting out of it, and you have to know before you start, when are you getting out? Why are you getting out? What are the conditions for you to get in and out of a trade? And those are the things that you can learn more about this trading system by putting your email address in over on the website. I'll teach you everything I can on the live streams, on the free webinar, and over on our free Discord chat. Let's go back to Bitcoin and just take a look at this 10-second bars. I'll be watching this to see if it's taking off from here, hovering sideways, or are we going to start to fade back? Is this a failing gesture by the bulls, or are we going to continue? Thanks again for tuning in. Best of luck in all of your cryptocurrency trading. I'll see you over on our Discord chat. Bye for now.